like to share a little bit about smudge sticks and how I use this type of sacred smoke medicine. And sacred smoke medicine for me is a way to work with plants or other plant or nature medicines in a form of burning them so it produces smoke. And this has all old traditions that I know of have some way of working with plants or other nature elements through this. So what I'm sitting with here is a smudge stick, and this one is made out of lavender and mugwort, which in Danish would be lavendel eller Gråbynke. Mugwort is definitely one of my favorite plants to work with in smudge sticks. I think many of you might know of Palo Santo or sage, white sage. Those are beautiful, beautiful plants and powerful. However, they are also over-harvested, and some indigenous, there's some communities, especially indigenous communities, that still work with these plants and harvest them in sustainable ways, but most of what you get is not coming from there. So my invitation would be to actually use the local varieties instead. We have so many powerful plants here as well, and just because something comes from the other end or comes from the jungle, it doesn't necessarily mean it's more powerful. It's different, and I think mugwort is just as powerful as sage or as Palo Santo, but of course different because it's a different plant. And so one way I like to think about it is that smoke is kind of in between worlds. It's not quite solid and it's not quite air. So it's this thing that travels in between worlds. And in some traditions, they say that smoke can kind of carry messages to the spirit world and carry our prayer, our intention on. I think depending on which plant we work with in smudge sticks or in incense or in other things, they have different abilities. And let's say, as an example, drinking a cup of chamomile tea, that's usually for most people that would be a calming experience. So that's something you would do when you want to calm down, and not necessarily when you want to go to a techno party. So like there for you, for the intention, your intention, and whatever plant you will be working with, for them to kind of match. That is how I see it to become the most powerful. So that means with chamomile as an example, working with chamomile when you want to go in the same direction, as chamomile can help lead you. And some plants are, I would say, more like a Swiss knife. They can do very many different things, and some plants are very, very focused in what they do and what they help with. For me, it's all about intention. With most plants and with most working with this, intention is such an important part of it. It's so much, And I can sit here with just some plants that are burning and not be intentionally with it, and then I'm just sitting here with some plants that are burning. So if I'm intentional working with the plants, when I harvest them, when I dry them, when I work with them, I think that becomes a completely different creature. And that's the difference. That is the magic of it, of connecting with the spirit of the plants, communicating with the spirit of the plants, and communicating with this tool that I have right here. And so when this tool and my intention are aligning, then they can resonate with each other and make each other stronger. So with a smudge stick, I think it has, like all sort of many sacred smoke medicines, have an ability to kind of help us shift from one state to the other, from one state of being, let's say a busy everyday state, into a more calm state of being and not so much doing. And even just the smoke and the smell of it on a sensory level in our bodies goes in, and we can it smells. Our bodies recognizes something is happening, and we can use that shift intentionally to step out of whatever everyday busyness and step into another state. maybe more receptive, more present state. Most smudging or smudge sticks are used to cleaning and opening up something, closing something, opening up something else. For me, when I make my own smudge sticks, I'm tying them with prayers, with songs, and so depending on what smudge stick it is and what intention I have and what day it is, it might be different, or it is going to be different. And then I think there are two, again, there's like the action of working intentionally with covering my body with the smoke, and with my mind maybe visualizing or feeling the shift that I am asking help with, that I'm praying for. And if prayer is a word you don't resonate with intention, you can use the word intention instead. And slowly, I think slowness is a really powerful medicine. So like slowly feeling into where it would be the most nourishing for me to receive the smoke of these plants, where my body craves it, where I crave it. Right now I feel around my womb space, it's really like, oh, here's something, and now I'm starting to feel, my back, my lower back. And then really just slowly letting the smoke come in, and I feel my breath starting to change. I'm like, oh yeah, breathing is a thing. Let me just smell the plant, breathe with the plant, and feel what is happening, or not happening. Just feel what is. And then, specifically with mugwort, Artemisia Vulgaris, I really like calling it Artemisia. I think it's such a beautiful name. I see this plant, I experience it as really a world opener. I mean, there's so many things that this plant has, but one aspect that I want to mention is that I feel like it's opening up this world of light. But it's also a plant that opens up the worlds of other plants in the way that when I put it together with other plants, it makes the other plant stronger. So like if I put it in a body oil, it will help the other plant become more strong. If I smoke it in my pipe, it will connect with the other plants. If I have it here together with something else, it will work together with that plant. That's something I really find mugwort to be really potent with. Then I see it as really visionary. So when I use smudge stick with mugwort, I really love having it on my third eye and really clear my visions. You know, sometimes we have so many layers of things, of fear and doubt and whatever else, humanness that is perfect. But just like allowing that to seep down a little and let me see clearer the bigger picture of my life, which usually always reminds me that everything is okay, that I'm okay, that we're all doing fine, and God has got a plan. And I also feel the lavender in this stick, and I feel her very right now. I feel her powerful, direct in a way. I can sometimes have an idea of lavender to be very... I'm just looking at the time here, and it counts down on this phone. I don't know what that means, but it kind of shifted me out of this. Maybe I wasn't supposed to talk more about lavender right now. Yeah. So... invitation to take a moment and be slow with the smudging. And it doesn't all have to be cleaning. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong that has to shift. It's just right time at the right place. So right now I don't need hurry. I can be slow. And now